it seems pretty obvious to me that the majority of people that vote in the West, let's say, are the same. They they might lean slightly left or slightly right, but most people are smack in the centre, and they take a few ideas from here, a few ideas from there, and they don't really go with one firm ideology. Hence why most elections for the last 40 years have been won from the centre, whether it be the centre left or the centre right. That's who wins an election, is the one who appeals to the masses, the most people, that gets the biggest amount of people voting, and the least controversial policies and plans, the better, the ones that make people feel safe and just think, okay, it's going to be an incremental thing. It seems really obvious to me. Fringe has never worked, whether it has been far on the right or far on the left. The left, for most of them, for the most part, for what we can see, can't actually see how far left they've been pulled, and their own base, even normal, regular people, like if I was in the States, the chances are I would have voted Democrat several times over the years. As over here, I've voted Labour and Conservative. It's just been whoever's, like I said, whoever's felt more comfortable. So every time the media try and whip it up and make it into something more and sell this idea of, oh, are we going to have this and socialism versus capitalism, knowing full well that actually, although they're saying socialism, they're saying democratic socialism, and knowing full well that even if someone like Bernie Sanders was elected president, as we've seen with the way the US system works, there is no way he'd be able to implement some top to bottom complete change of the means of production, control over the means of production and everything. And he says that's not what he's proposing anyway. So that would never happen in his tenure. It would just be blocked. He'd have a nightmare getting even just the most simple, in his eyes, of legislation through, just like all presidents do. It's how the system's designed. So why people are worrying, I don't know, but it's clear to me that, as I said in my intro video, catch-up video, is that as it stands, I think it's going to be a Trump landslide, and possibly a 40-state plus one, certainly electoral college. Again, I think the popular vote thing will be close because of Los Angeles and New York and California and New York City. I suppose New York State does generally go blue as well, but California is the huge one. And then you add up all the other little blue areas, and you've got a huge amount in terms of population, and that's why the electoral college is so good and needs to be kept. So I think that's a no-brainer in my opinion. It's interesting to see what happens with the Democrats. Maybe they're planning some Manchurian last-minute dreamboat of a candidate to come in before the convention. It's obviously not Bloomberg or Steyer, even though they're minted. It's they're not exactly dreamboats, and they're not exactly big on ideas and policy and stuff. So I don't know, that's to be seen. I'll be having a lot of fun covering it. So that's what I wanted to say on that. And the next is my series on This Person Is Not a Nazi. And the first one featuring is going to be Gavin McInnes. And also I'm going to talk about Tim Pool being red-pilled and not really realizing it, or basically how that folds into what I've just been saying. Basically, is everyone is like a Tim Pool, in the sense that everyone is in the center. Everyone can see how slightly crazy the Democrats have gone. No, not everybody wants to vote for Trump, but you know, the economy's good and people vote for people they don't like. Look at Bush. He got a second term. People hated him, and there, it was interesting. Just one final thought. There was an interesting thing. I watched a Steve Bannon ad interview, and he was saying that at the time, even Reagan, when Reagan was there, they were calling him the devil for his foreign policy, nuclear policy, when he was trying to de-escalate things, you know, during the Cold War. And they had, apparently the media demonized and called him all sorts of names, and it's only over time that he's become this kind of Republican, you know, this model of republicanism, Reaganism, and how a Republican should be. But apparently he was demonized, and basically the establishment left-wing media have been attacking any right-wing, remotely right-wing Republican president or government for a very, very long time. Yeah, we'll be going into that as well in the next video. So yeah, please subscribe if you like it, thumbs up, all that stuff, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.